Welcome to Let's Fucking Chat. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Alex. Let's talk about some stuff. Okay, so Elsie, how are you? How was your week?
My week has actually been really good. I found a new job. I'm like super excited about it. I found a job working for literally a woman owned, she's like 68. She reminds me of my mom. A woman owned accounting business. Like it's literally only her. So I'm working with my employer, only her. And I'm really excited. She's, like I said, woman owned, woman operated, been in this like accounting jig for millions of years. And I'm going to be her front desk. And I'm just like really excited for this new chapter in my life, like learning
Nice.
on the real in the real world skills. She's like, yeah, okay, this is like super weird, but like I found the job on Facebook because if you don't know, Facebook has jobs and
Mm-hmm.
I'm any avenue that I could find a new job, I'm like down for. So I called her and I talked to her like 3 times. And then on like the third call on my way to my current job, now almost my old job, she's like, I'm going with my heart and I want to just hire you right now without ever meeting her, without her ever meeting me. And I was like, oh my God, yes. Like, yes, 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 yes. And I'm like on my way to work, like almost crying because I'm like so excited for this new chapter. Like, I'm gonna like miss working with all of like the people I work with, but I won't necessarily miss the job.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like super super excited. So that was like just kind of my week. I start April 9th, and I just keep using the word excited, but like I really am just like ready to like work in an office again. I know there are pros and cons to every job that you have, but I think my biggest hurdle will be leaving people I work with that are like all my age and like we can all just like bullshit and
Yeah.
talk about stuff for a few hours, like going back to really like talking to like nobody except for like the boss, but like she's old, like I said, like 68 and like has two elderly dogs, which is going to be like kind of my downfall, but like I feel like it's something I'll just have to like push through and like listen to a podcast or listen to music. And she's like, yeah, when it's slow, like you can like do your schoolwork, I don't care. And I was like, oh, awesome. Like, so it's like give and takes, but I'm just like ready to start this new chapter, closing one, opening another one, doing that bookkeeping, ready to learn that, go numbers, woohoo, go people's income, taxes, pay stubs, payroll, accounts receivables, accounts payables, let's go, QuickBooks. So, um, yeah, that's about it. Oh, I also I've experienced what it feels like to get your like gums cut up by these braces the other
Yeah.
day. Alex, dude, I had a freaking like sore on my gums. I have like
Yep.
one kind of on my tongue. I don't know if it's from the braces or just like all the like acidity I've been eating, but like, dude, the one on my gum just like that thing hurts, man.
Yep.
Like,
It
you are
really
not
does.
kidding.
Yep.
That thing, oh, that's so uncomfortable, but thank you, braces wax. God
Yeah.
bless your God sentence.
You're welcome.
I don't know. Like, thank you, Wax. But that's all my week. What about your week?
Uh, I wanted to comment on I think that like when you go to a new job for the most part, and is there gonna be are they guaranteed that there are more people in the office?
No, it's literally me. Her
Oh,
sister that comes in maybe 2 to 3 hours. Her two elderly dogs. And I guess like the people that like obviously like the clients. But I'm
yeah.
like, but I'm also like, oof, I don't
Okay.
know.
All
It's a
right.
weird
Yeah.
give and take.
That might be that'll be
Yeah.
very interesting, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll be all the quiet time you need, it seems.
Oh, yes, and maybe a little bit more, but that's why you still talk to people that you work with because texting's a thing. Even though it's not the same thing, but it's better than absolutely nothing.
Yeah. All right. So my week was actually pretty stoked. It was pretty hype. I ended up
Okay.
working on this beat that had a really good melody and it was very well produced. Um, and I sent it to this rapper that I'm talking to, and he really liked it. So I've been doing a lot of like sending him like beats that I make, to get him to try to rap over some of them. But it seems like none of them really catch his attention as much as I'd like to, because I
Mm,
want it to catch his attention to make him want to rap on it, not where he's just like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I feel it, you know. But one that he wants to get to rap on. So I finally made this one, and it sounded really, really good, and I liked it so much. And I liked it so much that even I just tried to rap on it. I'm not a rapper, but even I sounded pretty good. So I was really happy with how it came out. So now I did a bunch of changes for it, and I sent it over to him. So he's working on it right now, and I hope I get it back soon so that I can, you know, finish it into a song, and put it out there, because I think it will sound really, really, really good. And it's very catchy as well. So we'll see.
Hmm,
So yeah, that
nice.
was
Okay.
that was a large portion of the weekend, was just kind of like going back and forth with him and trying to get it to his liking. Because what I wanted originally when I started talking to him was that I wanted him to like, you know, tell me what he wanted with his beats, because you know that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make beats for you. I'm
Yeah.
not here to like just make beats and like, you know, force people to rap on them the way that I made it myself, right? I'm supposed to like, I want to send them a concept, and then and them to come back to me and say, okay, this is what I want. I want it this structured this way, blah blah blah. And he's pretty new. He's new when it comes to like dealing with having his own like, you can consider me like his personal producer or whatever. He's pretty new to that, so he only just recently started giving me like suggestions and stuff like that. But the closer that we get together, the more like normal it's going to be, and I can't wait. I can't wait at all. He wants a tropical beat next, so I have to figure
Oh,
out how to make
that's
tropical music.
interesting.
Yeah. That it seems like that's
What?
his. He likes very, very like, it's very funny. So he likes very up music, like very, very happy
Mm-hmm.
music. Um,
Yeah.
and although he can sometimes talk a lot, talk about like some more like some serious things in it, like very like sad things in it. It's very, it always has like kind of that like happy kind of like feeling to it. Where like the vocals are very beautiful, right? He likes to do stuff like that. And the funny part is that I am someone who's really, really good at very somber melodies. I really like making my somber melodies. I really like
I could see that.
yeah, that yeah, that resonates with with my personality very well. Like me being able to like
Mm,
make somber beats and really sad things. Um, but that's not what he's looking for. So I need to learn how to make beats for him. Um, and yeah, that's, it seems like that's the next project that I'm gonna be working on with him. And then I'm finishing up another song that I was working on a long time ago that I came back to, and I finally added like the third part, and so I'm gonna be doing a little bit more production on that before I do anything. I do need to upload something this month for on my SoundCloud, because I haven't been doing that for, and actually no, because I do it every month, and I haven't uploaded one for this month. That's why I need to upload this. Um, but I also realized this week that I need to be more attentive in with my social media. I'm not a very big like social media person. I'm not good at like opening it every day. I'm not big at caring a lot about anything when it comes to it, right? So if somebody says something mean to me on it, I just fucking close it, like, because I'm just like, I don't really care, whatever. um but I need to kind of start moving into that, which like moving into that kind of feeling of being of like, you know, social media being one of my main priorities, because that's kind of what I'm trying to shoot for, is being able to be seen and stuff like that. And something that I was reading this, like it was just about a streamer. He was talking um uh about how like, oh, he doesn't know why he's not getting views, blah blah. Oh no, it was a musician, not a streamer. And he was like, oh, I'm not getting a lot of views on my new like album or whatever. And so the guy responded with, he's like, okay, I looked up your song, and I only see that it was posted a couple of days ago. I see that like the last thing was posted before that was like 2 months ago. I see that like
Yeah,
yeah, I
you have
see
to
that
have
like your Twitter.
consistency.
Yeah, exactly. I see that your Twitter name is a lot different than your production name. I see all this stuff, and he started like listing all this shit, and I started realizing that like that's me too.
Mm,
He's talking to me.
I'm him.
Exactly. And
I'm
so
him.
I was like, okay, I need to get a little bit more into it. I don't
Mm.
know how much I can do because it's an
It's time
entire
consuming.
yeah, and it's an entire different personality. I feel like my personality
Yeah.
is very very I like to be I like my, I like my dopamine almost immediately. Meaning, I like to make something and see the fruits of my labor upon finishing it, right? Whereas when it comes to social media is more of like a late rewarder, where you have to do social media very well, and as you start doing it more and more and more and more and better, right, you start to actually then see the fruits of your labors, and it's like there are some people who like that. They like to be able to like make that thing and then wait a while and then the rewards coming in and stuff like that. But I like it being almost immediate. So that's why when it comes to Twitter and trying to do social media, I'm just like, I don't know how, like, I have to type, oh, I'm having a great day today. Like, who the fuck cares?
Don't use Twitter, okay? You gotta use Instagram, Facebook, TikTok's a big
When it comes
thing.
to Instagram, I don't know what to post. I'm good at stories, but like I don't know what to
Dude, look at
post.
our Instagram for Let's Effing Chat.
Dude, you're just
Plugging it
great.
now. Instagram
When dude,
at Let's Effing Chat. Keep the convo rolling with us. I try and post a few during the week,
when
but
I
I honestly
see
forget sometimes.
when I
Let's
see
go, guys.
you do stuff on the social media site, it like I just see you as like superhuman. Like what you're able to do is amazing, and like I wasn't like joking when I was like, dude, I fucking admire like what you do with like all the social stuff because you're really good at that. That's something that I cannot do. Like for the life of me, I cannot one come to care about it and two be as good as you are. Where you're like, I liked the video the movie preview the like this week's movie is preview where it was an Uncut Gems. It was the one with the little person in it. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, I care a lot.
Yeah, I care a lot. Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, and I really really liked what you did there, and it's so hard to do that. So yeah, so I learned that I needed to do a lot more with my social media, and I need to do it across the board. The fact that I have so many projects
Yes.
that I'm doing that aren't, it's not just music, it's not just YouTube, it's not just this podcast, it's just a bunch of different things that I'm trying to do. I need to like work super hard to get all of them to be at a place where they can be seen, that these projects can be looked at by other people and gain a following or something like that. So that's a thing. Um, also, I have,
Well,
huh?
I was gonna say, well, I'll just let you in on a secret. Canva's my best friend to make things and just boop boop boop, drop and export and on my phone, but it's a lot. It's time consuming no matter what program you use. So.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like I might end up talking to you about like paying you for it, honestly, because I know that in
It's
the
a
end I'm gonna need
thing.
a social media person. So, and you're really good at your
It's a
job,
lot.
so we'll
Thank
see.
you.
But yeah. Also, other than that, it's been a very eventful week. I have a big project at work, and the project is being led by someone who is just not really good at leading a project. They're really good at what they do.
Mm,
They're pretty good at coding. They're pretty good at like all this other stuff. But when it comes
they're not
to
good leaders.
when it comes to being a leader, he is very very bad, and so it makes the structure of the project crumble under his feet.
Yeah.
And because we were put on to kind of to basically fix his mess, like
That's
it
not
was
good.
really really lame having to deal with it. And then I was like, okay, it's only a month long. That's what they said. So I just have to wait till the end of the month. And it looks like they're going to be taking me next month as well. And the problem this time is that
Jeez.
before I had a coworker with me who he was a lot more like stern and more vocal than I am.
Yeah.
And so he would like kind of say, hey dude, don't do this. Like this is really stupid. But I'm not that type of person. I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'll do it, whatever.
Alex, you have to be this person now. This is your
Yeah.
time if you
I,
want to get this over with.
I do get to that person. I have like this limit in my head that like if somebody annoys me enough, like I get the sharpest fucking tongue in the world. Like it hurts. It hurts a lot. But that's only if you get me there, and it's very hard to get me to
Yeah.
that point. Um, but yeah, so I have to do that again, and that's unfortunate and very, very tiny. Like it's just very annoying dealing with him. If the structure was a lot better than what it is, I'd be totally fine with the project. But because it's not, like this project needs structure because it's big enough to need structure, and that's not what it has. And this person is very stubborn to actually say to like listen to us and say, hey, maybe I should kind of switch to this, you know, way of running
Yeah.
the team rather than the way that
Like
I currently have.
deadlines,
Yeah.
teams within a team,
Yeah, exactly.
anything to keep the ship actually moving forward, not backwards or stalling in the
Yeah.
water.
Exactly. Yeah, that's just it's just a lot. There's a lot to like unpack
Mm,
into there, but I'm not even gonna get too far into it.
yeah.
Um, and then finally, it's just I've been having I have a headache. I have a really bad headache. I've had it for a couple of days. I think I might be like I don't I hope not, but I think I might be getting sick. Like
Ooh,
I hope it's nothing
pre-symptoms,
big. I don't get
little flu
sick.
action.
I don't normally get sick, so I wonder what it could
Mm,
be. I don't have any taste problems or anything like that. It seems kind of like just a normal like headache, and it just kind of seems like a normal headache, but we'll see. It might even actually just be a normal cold as well. I'd be
yeah, like
okay
a
with
head
that.
cold.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was dealing with that yesterday and today, and then lastly, I got this new game with my phone, which is it's called what is it? It's like something 7, like Arc 7 or something like that. I don't know why I started playing it. Epic 7, that's what it's called. Um, it's a game about like just like one of those like Japanese games that people can play on like their mobile phone and shit like that. And I was like, why not? I don't play these games at
Okay.
all, so I want to try it. And then I tried it, and now I've been playing it all day yesterday and all day today. So it's
That
a
might
good
be
game.
why you have a headache staring at your phone,
That actually can be the reason why.
honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I'm completely. That actually exactly the reason why. Um, but how else will I play the game? Actually, I was just gonna get my I have a tablet, so I was just gonna download it onto my tablet,
Play
which
it
would
on
make it
your
a lot easier.
tablet, take
Yeah,
a break, stare at the wall for 20 seconds
yeah.
after playing for 20 minutes.
Because of my job, all I do is look at screens. So
How do
yeah, I
you
can
not
tell.
already have headaches? Like, how?
I think my eyes just got used to it.
Oh my god, you
Yeah.
become immune.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
I have no words for you except just wow.
Yeah, it was a very interesting week, and I can't wait for more. One of the biggest things this week was just seeing how much I've progressed through in music. I have I sound completely different than I used to, and it's beautiful, and I am loving every
Good. We
minute
love
of it.
progress.
Yeah, I enjoy progress. That is my biggest that is like my top priority ever in my entire life. It's just progress. It's trying to progress even further. I never want to feel like I'm standing still. I always want to do more and more to progress something in my life. In fact, that was a really big reason why I was having like a depression 2 years ago. But we're good now.
Good.
um, but yeah, that was basically my week. That was indeed my
Nice.
week. Yeah.
You had a major week. I also started my period the other day. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
total fucking shit, but it is what it is. Womanhood, love it,
The
hate it,
burritos.
here for it.
Isn't that Eve's fault? Isn't that the story?
I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's some weird Bible tale about how the period started, but you just
Because
gotta have it in order to make them kids.
Eve created the pain that women or not created, but was the reason why women experience
Women have
pain
pain.
during
Huh.
childbirth.
Thanks, Eve, you bitch.
Yeah, because of the apple incident, God was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I find that hilarious. I find that you are this. All right, I don't want to get too far into it, but I just find that it's very interesting that you are this extremely all-powerful being, and you create this thing that you specifically developed in the ins and outs, and you're so powerful that you should understand the future and the past, and you got surprised that they went for an apple that you
No, right.
part of a tree that you created that
Out
you
of
put in
all
front of
things.
them. Yeah.
You're like a goddamn apple. We'll do ya.
Fucking apples, dude. Fuck those things. No, I'm kidding.
Fuck those delicious, expensive gems, aka Honey Crisp, because those are just so nice and crispy. But fuck them. Fuck Gala Red Lady apples. Fuck those losers. Except for Honey
Dude,
Crisp.
there are different types of apples, and I only know green apples, red apples, and sometimes yellow apples. I kind of still don't think yellow apples exist.
I don't think they're real either. I've never seen a yellow apple ever before. Only fucking green and red. But yes,
Yeah.
they're different layers of red apples. Like I said, Honeycrisp for me top, but they're like fucking I think like $1.99 a pound, and they're already so huge. So like buying three, it comes out to like $4.99 a pound. I don't know. I've spent like literally. It sounds ridiculous, but like $5 to $10 on like a few like Honeycrisp apples because they're just so superior. Like so superior. But yeah,
I've never
fuck
tried
yellow
that.
apples. They're not real. Go to the grocery store right now. Go to Publix once we're done. Buy one Honeycrisp apple. Your life will be changed, Alex. If you don't like apples, you'll be like Kelsey. This Honeycrisp, big, juicy, plump, crisp. Yeah, that's all I have to say about
Interesting.
apples.
I wrote it down. I'll check into it. I'm actually not a
Okay.
big fan of apples personally. Like usually
You
I
would.
can skirt by with green apples just because the sourness kind of helps
Ew.
me eat the skin. But
Ew.
yeah, red apples I just can't because of their sweetness does not mask the taste of the skin, like the chewing of the skin. So
Mm,
I just don't like it. I usually just fucking either spit it out or only eat the inner portion. If I eat an
interesting.
apple, I haven't eaten an apple in forever.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
probably
I
my
guess
least favorite fruit.
as we weirdly talk about apples, I really want to talk about this movie because
Nope. We have topic of the week. We have topic of the
I
day.
know, but I also just
I also want
want
to
to
talk about it, but
do
it's after the topic of the day.
cancel culture.
Consider culture. Yes.
I feel like after our David Dobrik weird rant, it's like such a prevalent topic, especially now, just because like we've never seen this in society where like somebody gets super famous on like the internet and they have tons of like money, tons of like devoted followers, and then boom, something very controversial, which is always the key word, controversial
Mhm.
content or old videos, tweets, photos, they just magically resurface because people are internet sleuths and have nothing else to do in their day.
Yeah.
And then, boom, what happened in 2018, boom, cannot be accepted in 2021, which I feel like in some cases, yes, but in others, we shouldn't be so hard on the person. But in other words, like, it's black and white. Either you cancel them or you don't. There's no way of swaying the in between people because it's either you want them canceled or they don't get canceled, or they get canceled and then they resurface, apologize, and sometimes life moves on. It just may take a little while.
Okay, so this is actually an interesting topic because although I have my own opinions on it, I do know the counter argument for it. So my thoughts on it is that I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. I just don't like how fast people come to conclusions based on a specific
Same.
thing. That's usually like my only problem is that like people will read a headline and they will just run with that headline instead of like reading into the headline and reading into the thing and understanding that there's a lot that context is a thing. These people don't understand
Yes.
about context, so they hear, oh, he
Digging
said bad
deeper.
word. And it's just like there was this one professor who got fired because he was explaining. No. Okay, so there's two professors. One professor got tired because he was explaining why he ended up throwing another kid out of the room for saying the N-word, and the teacher actually said the N-word. And then the second teacher got fired because he was just defending the first teacher, saying that he probably shouldn't have got fired. And that blows my mind. I just, there's like, people just completely ignore context. Like apparently the teacher can get kicked out for reading like Huckleberry Finn now. Like
I
I
know
don't know.
anything. Or
Yeah, it really pisses me off. Like, and I know that my personal views are very not worn by the average person, simply because like everything that I believe completely follows through, and I will bite the bullet on anything that my beliefs might run into. A lot of people, they'll say like, oh, murdering, like okay, let's do an easier one. Hitting people is bad. A person might say that, right? And that's their moral system. And so you might think, okay, that's a pretty good moral system. So hitting people is bad. Is that what you have to tell me? And they'll say, yeah. And so you're like, okay, well, John hit Jerry. And they're like, yeah, John's a bad person. And I'm like, but then John hit Jerry because Jerry hit John first. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, so now is John a bad person? And they might go, they might go, yeah, that John is a bad person. Those people I respect. I respect those people who are able to follow through with their morals. If their moral like framework points towards this direction, then you have to agree on it. Even if you don't want to, you have to agree on it or say that your morals are fucked up. And but the average person will say, no, John, I don't remember their names, but the one who punched in retaliation, he is not a bad person because it was straight for retaliation. And then I would go, then you don't actually believe that just hitting people is a bad thing. And so that just goes to that kind of like, I say that to go back to the cancel culture, which is that people will say, oh, saying this word is bad. And then they just instantly get mad at somebody for like either saying a word or doing a thing without any further context, like age and time like an age, like 10 years
literally
ago.
age.
Yeah. 10 years ago, like Xbox Live was just a bunch of people saying the N-word. And you know what? I'm not going to fault them for saying the N-word today, especially if they don't do that anymore. If they don't do that anymore,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that was the culture then. The culture, like, people change along with the culture. And although we can say, hey, what you did was bad, and we can tell them that and say you should probably chill out, like, and they're like, oh, we don't do that, I don't do that anymore. That's all I'm looking for, is like, okay, cool, you don't do that anymore, or or you've learned from your actions, fine, I don't really care then. But
then move on.
Yeah, then move on. But then people just take it a step further and just say, you know what,
God, I know.
kill yourself. That's what they'll say.
Then
Die.
just like kill yourself.
Oh,
I hope you
gosh.
get hit by a fucking truck and kill
Yeah.
yourself after. I literally feel the same way too. Like, just like you said before, like, I don't care about cancel culture. I don't give a fuck either. Like, these people don't have any impact on my life. Like, you can cancel them, but in the end, also, okay, this might go into another rant, but you know, when like people get called out for racial, like just anything racial, and I understand racial injustice is a thing, and like, but like, say, you know, like somebody does an interview and then they get called out for not seeing like the bigger picture, or like why this or that, and then they're like, they come back and they're like, but I'm gonna put in the work. What does putting in the work mean if nobody is ever going to see you put in the work? Or like, are you going to just have a selfie or do an Instagram live and be like, hi guys, I'm putting in the work today by reading this really long McGraw-Hill book on American history, or why the N word is bad, or why sexual assault is bad, guys. Here's me going to college and going to a
Yeah.
full semester. You know, like, what the fuck does putting in the work mean when all you're doing is by putting in the work, you're just doing self-promotion on social media, which got you canceled in the beginning. Like, do you feel the same way, or do you just like,
Well,
bleh? Is
so
that just me?
like there when it comes to that like situation, there is no right way. There's no way to win that, right? Like
Right?
I guess you could just say I'm sorry, but most people are just gonna say, "Oh, that's a fake apology. You didn't even say that you're gonna
Yes.
change." But then when you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to change," then they're gonna be like, "Oh, that like
But how?
yeah, but how?" Or like
What are you gonna
or it
do?
was fake, blah blah blah. Like there's not really a way to win that in the public eye. Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your
Right?
apology. Your apology means absolutely like shit all for me. Like I don't care about it at all. It just humors.
Exactly. My life moves on.
Yeah, exactly. It humors me that like when they do like those hilarious apologies that are just really bad, and some people don't
God, I
understand that
know.
some people are just really bad at apologies. They could actually completely
Mm-hmm.
mean it but be completely really bad at it. um but yeah, like there's not any good way to apologize. Like that, like I don't know, like usually I'm really good at understanding like psychology and like understanding like philosophy and stuff like that. I I pat myself on the back for that, but that's one thing I just don't know how to do. I do not know how to put out an apology where like the majority of people are going to be, unless it's like completely debunking everything. Those usually go out pretty well. But if it's just like a apology, like, oh yeah, I fucked up, like usually it's just taken like, oh no, you're a piece of shit, how dare you, blah blah blah, to a point, to the point at which sometimes it's just best to just never even apologize. That's what cancel culture teaches people. It teaches people one of two things. It teaches people, one, it teaches the people who want to cancel people that that like your past mistakes still stick to you today. And that and also teaches those same people that no one can change. And then it teaches the people who have done things in the past that they should hide their past, that they should,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that they should
They should
never tell
erase it
anybody.
all,
Mm-hmm. And it also makes
especially with
those.
the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so and yeah, those they don't know that. Wait, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, they teach the people who have done the bad things to just not tell anybody, and that just doesn't help the situation whatsoever, at all. Right? You want people to have a safe space, a safe enough space to say, all right, I fucked up. I fucked up when I was a long time a youngin, and I know exactly how I fucked up.
A young
And
child.
yeah, a young child. It was this. It was X amount of years ago. Blah blah. I'm going to change. Blah blah. Um, that like that's what we
Ugh.
want, but that's not what we're allowing
That's
them
not
to
like the
have.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the reality, and it really sucks. It really sucks because again, it just promotes people to not change. All cancel culture promotes is to just it promotes people to hate those people. It promotes people to hate cancel culture. It promotes people to this is and I think that cancel culture is actually probably a pretty big reason why Trump was elected, and like in my personal opinion. And it's the country's way of trying to slingshot. It's whenever we go too far in a certain direction, we tend to pull back because everybody really just wants to be in the middle. Honestly, probably everybody just wants to be in the middle. But what happens is these big groups, they will like start pushing the culture in a specific way, and a lot of times it's in the right direction, but it's too far in the right direction.
Oh yeah, like way too
Yeah.
far.
And so like of course people are going to react when you start to say, oh, you said something a long time ago where, well, you're a bad person. Oh, you once joked with your black friend about like something, a racist joke. You're a racist now. It's like, those
Yeah.
people are gonna say, no, I'm not racist. What? How am I racist? What? I was joking with my friend.
Yeah,
How?
that was my friend.
Yeah, that was my friend. And then what's gonna end up happening is that they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, no, you're just fucking racist. You're racist and you deserve to die. And it's just like, okay, well,
it's a never-ending circle of just digging up, especially now with like the YouTubers that like came off of what was it, like Vine?
yeah.
Like they're literally our age, being kids. Like the shit I did when I was a kid, like wasn't obviously like blackface or anything, but like some dumb shit. So it's like
yeah.
I wouldn't want that to resurface. But I like, to your point, how you said like they should hide their past. I don't want to say like totally be like a full 180 now and be like, that wasn't me, that was fake me. But just like, if your goal in life is to be like internet famous or an influencer, erase every single fucking thing you have from now until whenever you start your Instagram, Facebook. Erase it all. Just go private on your personal shit, but erase your internet footprint so like people can't dig up weird shit from like 2010 of you being like, I fucking hate McDonald's because they use GMO, or I don't know, just like anything that could like cancel you. Just go erase that bitch. You don't need it anymore. It's not you. If you're trying to be that influencer, you gotta be fake 100%, people.
I am so lucky that I was, one, poor, and two, that I just didn't grow up in like the generation where like we started on with technology. So like I only started like social media in like the end of 7th grade, but I did that. But my mom had always told me never to go on social media, so I would never do anything on it. I would just have it, and I would like change. Like I didn't have MySpace. I had this other thing called like, I think it was like called like Yearbook or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but I used to have one of those, and I also used to have DeviantArt, where I used to submit my drawings and stuff. And yeah, I didn't like. I'm lucky that I don't think I've ever posted anything that I think will ever affect me negatively. Now, I posted a lot of cringe. I posted a lot of fucking cringe.
We all.
I think one of these days, I think would be really fun if I read some of my cringe. I'm gonna write it down. So read some of my online cringe.
God.
I think it'd be really fun. I have a bunch of stories just in general about like my life that are just very fun to listen to, but just cringy on my part. I'm lucky that I wasn't a bad person. I was just cringy as fuck.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I have some weird shit from my childhood.
Yeah, I was an edgy boy. I was an edgy boy that liked to talk about the fall of society and different dumb shit.
What
like
the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
You saw it coming.
Yeah, yeah.
You predicted it.
It was
you
like,
are that so Raven.
I think it was like one of those things where it's like, I think I had one of those. It was just a long paragraph of me talking about how like I don't understand like why people. I think it was like, I don't understand why people hate each other without knowing them or some shit like that. It was just like a very long paragraph about that, and it was just
that
really
for
cringy.
Another day.
Yeah,
that sounds
yeah,
weird.
I'm not gonna read it.
That does
now.
sound edgy.
But yeah, I have a bunch of different things, but I'm lucky that I never put any.
Yeah,
I was never
you weren't on the internet.
But I did make edgy ass jokes. I'm not gonna fuck around. I absolutely made edgy jokes. And you want to know something completely honest? I still make edgy jokes with my friends in private.
I like how you say in private.
Yeah, in private. Yeah, I would never do it in public because I know I can vet my friends. I know if my friends are pieces of shit or not, right? And then if it happens to not be the case, I still believed it at the time. So none of my intentions were of ill will, right? But I like that. I like to be able. I feel like you're not a hateful person if you understand that the jokes that you're making can offend other people. So therefore, I will not tell these other people these jokes. I will just like confide in like this small group of people that I know will not get offended by this joke. I'm gonna tell the joke here. I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's obviously you being nice. But
do you think that's the problem though with people that get too far up on like the popularity scale of YouTube? Like they forget that like maybe like for example like your edgy jokes, like you just start like like ripping them in front of a camera because you think like your audience will like that,
Yeah.
and then of course people get offended, but you have to remind yourself like the people you're now entertaining, you have to keep it pretty
Yeah.
G and not really be yourself, but like those people in the background, turn that camera off, you can tell them all the edgy jokes you want to, and then that's how like people just get canceled just straight up by anything they say will like
Yeah.
offend a group of people no matter what, even if they're trolls. It's like that's the other thing I don't understand, like okay, if it's like something not related to like race or like obviously like sexual assault or like I don't know, I just feel like our society now is just so like everyone is so soft online. Like why are we
Yeah.
canceling Dr. Seuss? Why are we canceling all these books that like we grew up reading in high school? Like what are we going to teach our kids that like, oh, if you fall down it is okay to cry? No bitch, I'm going to be like, if you fall down, get up, brush the dirt off. If you're not spewing blood, you're okay, like it's fine. Like, and I think I'm going on a tangent, but it's like also too like these people online, like are they real people or are they robots? Like all those
Yeah.
people in comments, like
It will be
are
called
they? What if they're all
NPCs.
just what if they're all just like bots? Like what if you've created like 100,000 bots and you're just like kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself
That's a
on like
possibility,
100
actually.
different bots?
Yeah.
Like what is happening? Ugh, what is
Yeah.
happening with
That
this
I mean,
world?
that could be a possibility for sure. I wouldn't go that like I think that
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far
You're
with my
like, what the
children.
fuck?
But I do understand what you're saying. I do think that people are very, very soft. I think that we kind of forgot that we want people to be nice, but we want people to be nice to each other, but not for the sake of each other in a way.
Like in a
Like,
polite manner.
yeah, be polite because be
We want
polite.
respect.
Yeah, respect people. Yeah, we want people to have respect, but respect isn't I'm going to treat this person nice forever and I'm never going to ever say anything bad about this person or to this person to make them upset ever, because if I do, like, that's not respect. That's not respect. In fact, that's just like, I don't know what that is, but that's not respect. Respect means I will try my best not to offend you, but if I want to say a joke, like I expect you to respect me enough to understand that I respect you enough to this not to actually be like, you to know that I'm not trying to hate on you or something like that,
It's
right?
like we both understand at the end of the day, this is a joke. But
Yeah.
like
If anyone
cancel culture is no joke.
if anyone looks at the things that I do, there would be no doubt that somebody would come to the conclusion that I love people. Like, I will do a bunch of things. Part of me, I would give my life away for people. That's the type of person that I am. I don't expect that to be everybody, but that's the type of person I am. And I do things that, like, that show that. But if somebody just can, like, if I accidentally say some fucking edgy joke online, somebody just gonna say, oh no, you're a Nazi, or you're black people can call me the C word. And all this other stuff, or the U word. But yeah, it's
The
just
U word.
U word. It's the Uncle Tom. That is the term of a person who is it's basically the black person who is in the house a lot, and that means that they're a race traitor, basically. They're saying
Oh,
that you're
okay.
actually you're one of those like black people that like to, like, kiss the shoe of the white man or some shit like that.
Okay.
A good
Interesting.
If you've ever seen Boondocks, it is literally who Uncle Ruckus is supposed to be. That's like the caricature. Uncle Ruckus.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Even like Boondocks would get canceled today.
Did you see that they're like bringing that show back apparently?
I don't know how they could do that. It's gonna be so bad. Boondocks will get canceled today. Like, no doubt about it. There's just so much. Oh
Like maybe
gosh.
they won't because they have that like cult following. It's like with South Park, like they don't give a fuck who they talk shit about, and yet it's still been on for like 20 million years.
Mhm. I have a guess that in the future we're going to do the opposite of what's going on now, which is going to be like a pull towards the right. And technically that's kind of what Trump was just that it was that like big pull that like, oh hey, nobody wants to actually, you know, because that's a lot of reasons why, especially one of my friends even converted to a Trumpoid. It's just because he started feeling like people were just like yelling at him and calling him like bad names when he didn't feel like he was one of those, because he wasn't one of those. He was an edgy boy for sure, but was he one of those things that people were calling him? No. But what happens is he hears that and he's like, okay, these people obviously don't want me around, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to people who want me around, And unfortunately, conservatives are just really nice people. When you're in their face, and talking to them, these motherfuckers
But
will be
behind
like,
closed
hey,
doors.
yeah, behind closed doors, they will make sure to enact laws that fuck you the fuck over. Like that's what I consider a racist person or a bad person, is when they enact things that causes your life to be distressful, or specifically, want to, make fuck you over, right? That's a bad person. That's a person who is against you, someone who wants to fuck you over, not someone who accidentally fucks you over, and not someone who, who's completely apathetic towards you. Although apathy is its own, it's its own like situation. I feel like those types of people are going to have to be, that's going to be a big thing in the future, when we're like, guys, stop being apathetic. But I'm also one of those apathetic people, so I just don't
Cancel
care.
culture will like be a thing still, because like the younger generation now has this in their head like, cancel, cancel, cancel. Who got canceled? Did they get canceled? Like, do you think this younger generation will like put a stop to cancel culture, or like do you think they'll really hold people like on the internet to like a high standard, even though like these people will never meet you and you will never meet them, type of thing?
I think society is like a slingshot, and it will constantly go back and forth.
Mm,
So yeah, I do
true.
think that like, I think that I feel like that's what like the Xbox days was. That's like the culture on the more like right side, where it was just kind of like, you know,
Free for all.
yeah, free for all, like, say whatever you want to say, it's just
Yeah.
Xbox, blah blah blah. I feel like that's gonna come back, because after that, that's when people are like, oh,
Mm,
maybe we shouldn't call people that, and then now people are like, maybe we should stop being so sensitive about things. Maybe we should,
yeah.
care about what we say. We should watch our speech. We should worry about the mental health of others. That's for sure. Absolutely. I will always care for the mental health of someone first before I decide to say something. So if I have someone who is in front of me who is maybe a trans person, let's say, I will call them by their pronouns, and I will call them by whatever name that they'd like to be called, and I will try my best, absolutely, and in no way ever
Environment.
try to offend them or anything like that.
Yeah, depending on your environment is how you will uh, talk and
Yeah,
carry yourself.
yeah,
And I think you're right. Like, people are going to be like, you know what? This is just online. As long as no one's recording me and I don't have anything traced back to my real self, like, fuck it.
yeah. I think that the society is going to go back to that, but it's, again, the pull is always the extreme part of it. So again, it's going to be very like, it's gonna be very In fact, it might have already been the case. Like, it's already probably what's going on right now, honestly, which is the pull. Like, that's like, again, I think that's like the Trump era. Again, I think all of that happened and caused people to vote for Trump, because they were just like, oh, like, fuck you, if you don't want me around, then I'll go to the other side. And I feel like a lot of people felt that, because I mean, even me, kind of like, I didn't vote for Trump at all, and I don't think I would ever. But even I was like, come on, like, I've never been like shunned or anything like that because of my views, because luckily I'm very nice. But there is a lot of people who I'll look at and I'll say, really, them? Like Jenna Marbles? Like, do you remember that? The canceling of
But
Jenna?
yeah, she literally got canceled and like put like a 45-minute like apology, and then she like stepped away.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm okay, I'm done with YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
and it's
I'm
like, you
fine.
guys
Boop, boop.
fucking drove off this person because they said some stuff several years
Way back.
ago.
Way back.
Several. Like, you're like,
And
honestly.
she addressed it too one time. Like, how
Yeah,
many
yeah,
fucking
she
times
has,
are you gonna
yep.
bring this shit back up? Like,
And you don't know
I
what?
couldn't even imagine going through that.
She probably chose
No.
the best thing that she could have done, which was just to
Yeah.
drop off the face of the planet
Leave the
because,
platform.
yeah, just leave the platform. Now she's not in the now she's not that much in the social eye, so that she could be a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more free and stuff like that. Because to be fair,
Just
she's already got her bag.
crazy. Exactly. She's stacked. Like, homegirl doesn't need to make these silly videos anymore.
Yeah,
Fuck them hoes.
exactly. Like basically, they needed to know that like she was making those because she enjoyed making them, but now you just fucking ruined it because you're being
Mm-hmm.
honest. If I here's what I believe. I believe, and who knows, maybe this could end up coming like sticking me in the head, or like coming back around along
Yeah.
like in the
Say
future.
it.
But I am the type of person who will own up to it. But I hate when people meet like hatred with hatred. I am not the type of person to do that. I am not the type of person to see that, oh, this person hates me. Oh, I'm going to hate them. I hate that. I don't think that that solves anything. I think that that just kind of it just makes two
It
people
like
hate each other
fuels
forever.
it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All it does
The
is
fire
fuel it.
never goes out.
Because you're all you're doing is stoking the fire over and over again. All that
Mm-hmm.
hatred goes back and forth. I'm the type of person that's like, okay, you hate me. Why do you hate me? Let's talk about it. I do that with
Yeah,
my
like
friends
figure it
all
out.
the time. I think I've even said it in a previous episode. I'm not sure, but I always, if I feel like there's something off between me and someone who I care about, I will always go up to talk to them. I'll say, okay, what's going on? Like, are you okay with this? You know, is everything all right? I will always ask that, like, you know, they tell me about things that they, you know, that they feel uncomfortable with or blah blah blah. I'm very very like, you know,
You want to solve the problem.
yeah, I want to solve exactly. I want to solve the problem. I don't
Yeah.
want there to just be a problem. And I think that if you are someone who meets hate with hate, I think that you need to fix yourself.
I think that's the other problem too with like cancel culture because like you can't like solve the problem with like a million people that are online because like you won't ever be face to face. So like that's why they put out these weird apology videos in hopes that they just like at least like solve the problem with the masses. But like could you imagine recording an apology video, having to like hit the done record, put it into like your video editor, maybe watch it back because maybe you quote unquote cried too much or like you
Yeah.
had to blow your nose, like, and then not liking it and being like, okay, I'm gonna re-record this and just bring the tears back. Like that's why I don't think those videos are like genuine. For the most part, some maybe are, but like overall I don't think they are because like you have to go through a whole video process. Like that's why I'm just like those apologies are so useless and then people just move on within like 24 to 72 hours later. So
people move on really fast. And that is the argument that is against, or actually more for, cancel culture. So I've talked about what I feel like. So here's what a really good argument, which is that cancel culture does not exist. In fact, the argument is that no one really ever gets dropped off the face of like the social media. You're never actually
right.
like completely canceled. What happens is that in a way you just get punished for the thing that you did in the past.
Slap on the wrist.
And if that was the if that was the purpose of someone's canceling, I would be more for that. I would be like, if you did something in the past and people are like, all right, you're off the internet for like 10 days, I'm okay with that. Like honestly, like
What?
if you fucked up like a while ago, and then it's just like, and all you have to do is just kind of say, hey, we found this, you know, just get off the internet for like a day or two. And it's just like, okay, I could feel that. I paid my dues. Maybe that's kind of like my, like, as someone who is in the front of like the social sphere, I need to show that I'm okay with looking back at my past and saying, okay, I fucked up. That's what I'm okay with. I'm okay where it's just like,
Yeah,
all right,
like
I will
taking
just,
that step back.
yeah, taking a step back, like
Doing the work for you.
yeah. But when the idea is to completely ruin someone's life because they
No,
did
that's
some,
messed up.
yeah, dumb shit, like, then that's when I'm like, all right. Now, if you murdered somebody, I don't know, I can't.
Oh no, you need to go to jail and get sentenced right away. No redeeming qualities.
To be fair, it makes sense because that's kind of also how we treat our inmates. Which is just kind of
That's
like,
true.
fuck you, you did something bad, you can go rot in hell. Like that's what we do instead of doing what, you know, it's supposed to do, which is it's recreational, not recreational. What is it called? Rehabilitation center.
Reform. Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
supposed to rehabilitate you. That's what jail is supposed to do, is rehabilitate you. And we don't do that. We try to we just kind of throw somebody in jail and they're just staring at a wall. They get some books sometimes. And I think in like Sweden they have like, it's like a completely open jail or prison or some shit like that, and like they have like a library and blah blah, because that's what, you know, it, because they're actually trying to rehabilitate their people. And then us, because of the way that our prison system works, we actually have corporations that get paid by the amount of people that are
Oh yeah.
part of our prison
It's
system.
a big
So
cash cow.
yeah, so why would they make prison life better, right? Because then they won't get more. They pay more to get less. Like they're not gonna do that because they're fucking money hungry pieces of shit.
Yeah, they are. I think on that note, should we move on to the movie of the week, which I'm very eager to talk about?
All right. So let's begin with a spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about Flavors of Youth. It is on Netflix. If you'd like to watch it before we start talking about it, feel free to pause and watch it. And yeah, by the time you come back, you'll be done and we'll be talking about it. So Flavors of Youth is I'm basically just going to explain it. But Flavors of Youth is just it looks like it's basically like 3 stories in one. And basically just tells of 3 different stories of people doing some fuck shit.
I'm doing fuck shit, dude.
People
This
doing
movie
fuck
is
shit.
a...
Yeah, it's divided into 3 storylines.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna read the Wikipedia.
It's a romantic movie.
All right, so Flavors of Youth is a 2018 anime and anthology drama film directed by Lee Hao-ling. It was Chinese because they had Chinese names. They have Ji Ya Shao, Yi Shaoxing, and Yoshitaka Takeuchi, and produced by Noritaka Kawaguchi, a Japanese.
Get to the summary.
Okay, all right. So
get to the summary.
This is technically this. The film is divided into 3 storylines: the rice noodles, a little fashion show, and love in Shanghai. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. No, you go first.
Wait, what's your first question?
Oh yeah, hold on, I have to pull it. Okay.
Hate you.
Lay first question. When do we do? Aren't we gonna do like what we feel about it? Like
last.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that last. Well, because
let's do your general questions first, then how we felt about the movie, like our review. You know, that's when we rate it.
Okay, yeah, let's see. We'll go that way. All right.
Okay.
So, which story would you consider the most effective story to you? Like, which one made you feel the most? Which one did you care about more?
I would have to say this is a tough one, but probably the little fashion show, only because like I'm a big sister. I have a little sister, so like that connected more with me. But also though, like the first one with the noodles, what were they called again? Sun noodles? I don't remember. That was also really good too, because it was like how food is another love, and how it's a certain foods really have an impact on certain life events. Like Loki, when his grandma was like, he's like, I'll always eat the noodles with you, and holds her hand, or she's like, we'll always eat noodles together, and he's holding her hand, and his grandma just like dies. I almost shed a tear.
Yeah,
I was like, damn,
same
that
actually.
hit hard. Like Loki, like
hard.
Food connects people. Like that was a hard ass scene. But I think overall my favorite was like the sister one, because like you could see more of a relationship between 2 people, and being a sister, it kind of hit home for me. So that was my favorite and most effective about portraying love, work, dynamics you have with people, self-worth, self-image, personal goals.
Yeah.
About you?
I basically agree. I was actually gonna choose a different one, but I completely like everything that you said. It makes me agree, and I'm basically like I'm pulling out my old answer just because we'll get further into it when I talk about my overall impressions. But yeah, I'm gonna go over the little fashion show as well. I think that we can all, I mean, whoever has siblings can all kind of like, you know, connect
Feeling.
with this, yeah, understand this kind of dynamic between the
The
two.
bond.
Yeah,
The
the bond,
love,
yeah,
the
the bond that they
hate.
have, and they can kind of understand the selfishness of the main character, of I think it's Yi Lin, yeah, Yi Lin, yeah, Lin. Um, wait, is that their last name? Or I don't remember. I don't know how they structure their names.
I think
So
her first name was like Shin. I don't
okay,
remember either.
but I don't know which one. Wikipedia says that her name was Yi Lin, so I'm gonna go with Yi Lin. But Yi Lin was very, very like, it seems like she's very protective of her sister in a way, in that like she's trying to like, she basically said, all right, now that you're, you know, you have nowhere else to go, stay with me, and I'm going to provide everything for you, and I'm going to show you this world, and I'm never going to let you be sad. I think that's basically that kind of like idea. It's like, I want everything for my little sibling, and I'm going to try to do everything that I can for my little sibling. And that's kind of what it seemed like, you know, she was doing. And so it kind of didn't, it made her struggles a lot more kind of like understandable, where like she basically
More
worked
like
herself.
personable.
Yeah, more personal, exactly. She
You
worked
could see
herself.
yourself in her shoes.
Exactly, or I can understand the position that she's in. Absolutely. Yeah. So I would agree with you. Like that. That would be my favorite part.
Go little fashion show.
Yeah, a little fashion show. All right. Were you engaged throughout the entire story? So these 3 stories. How engaged were you?
I was at first. I was like, "What am I watching?" Okay, anime. I do love the graphics of anime. Like they do a really good job.
Dude,
So
the
yeah,
art was
I was
fucking
like
beautiful.
engaged. The first scene when they're making the noodles,
Yeah, the noodles.
and he was explaining
Yep.
the like mushrooms, the like rice noodles, the broth. I was like, damn, I
Yeah.
want a bowl right now. But yeah, I always like the art and the effort, because like it's a lot of work to make animes. So I always appreciate just like the artwork that goes into it. So yeah, I was like into the movie.
I hated it. I
I hate you.
it was so okay. I didn't like it was boring as hell.
God.
That's the reason why
Dude, you
I
picked
asked that
this
question.
movie too.
Yeah, I know. And I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, this is so fucking boring. Oh
I'm surprised
gosh.
you said it's so fucking boring, because you like love the romance, the emotion. Like,
Because there's no good romance in this. It's all trash.
Alex, what the fuck? The last one was romance.
The last one was
man.
the worst. Was the worst
You thought
fucking romance possible. This motherfucker.
I loved the ending.
I hated it.
Like, I'm a fucking loser.
This is just
a fucking tape.
So a good story is not the story that's just like, oh yeah, and then everything worked out. Like that's trash. Like that's basically the Deus Ex Machina.
It didn't work out though.
Everything did work out. What are you talking about?
The end of, oh fuck, I'm forgetting. Yeah, she like walks into his like,
yeah, she walks into the fucking thing.
Okay, yeah, I totally forgot.
Yeah,
about
that was fucking stupid. And also,
I thought it was cute.
Him like not listening to the tape. That entire dumb stupid.
Dude, I was like, you dumb motherfucker.
Who does that? It's like
a dumb motherfucker.
The one thing I don't like is when a story starts to remove the humanity from somebody to specifically make a story happen. So I don't think that like I don't think a real person would be in that situation, or is so oblivious to be in that situation.
Oh no,
to where like
never.
I don't know why he didn't just tell her. Yeah, like she asked him, did you go to the did you try to apply for that college because of me? And he's like, no, I just wanted to prove my mom that blah blah blah.
I know.
It's like, you fucking dumb motherfucker. I want to just push you across that bridge right now. Like, I was so mad. I'm just like, I cannot believe.
You're like, kill yourself.
Yeah. I do cancel that motherfucker. Honestly,
I know.
Who fucking does that? Dude,
no,
I was
cancel his fucking friend in the middle. Okay, if you're a group of 3, you always have the friend in the middle. My man was the man in the middle. Why didn't he be like, hey, to the girl, whatever his name is, like actually applying for the high school? Like,
that's what he did. That's why she came to talk to him. Yeah,
Oh, really?
the
Did I
fucking
totally forget this movie?
the friend was being the wing. Well, she kind of, it was a subtle thing. Like you didn't see him do it, but she was like, "Oh, the friend told me that you did this for me." So like, yeah, he was trying to be a good wingman, but motherfucker cockblocked himself. And honestly, he deserved to be continued to be forever cockblocked, but unfortunately, they decided to
He
say
doesn't.
everything works out.
You're right. Haha, joke's on you.
Yeah. You know all that shit that happened in the past. It doesn't matter anymore
Fuck
because
the tape.
you know.
I know. She showed the fuck up.
Yeah, I did
Oh
not
my
like
god.
it. Yeah, it was just really boring. I didn't like hate it. Like it wasn't.
Oh man.
It was just really not boring. It was just really boring. And I'm the type of person who I love entertaining things. Like usually when it comes to me in a movie, I usually vote based on how entertaining it was to me. And this was just the least entertaining movie ever. Like I've ever watched ever, and basically mainly because they tried to fit 3 stories into it. I didn't know it was an anthology or
It's
anything
actually
like that.
kind of cool.
It was stupid.
Oh my god.
I thought at one point, I honestly thought at one point it would have been
We'll agree
cool.
to disagree.
It would have been cool if they would have met up and they would have had like a story like of them all coming together. These groups like running into each other, and then they're like being like some sort of story that builds off of that. But no, they were just completely separate. So why the fuck do I care about these other stories?
A love story. Like you need to know
What?
each
There's
background.
one love story.
I know, but so they can come together in, what was it, Shanghai? Like you need to know the 2 people, not all 3. They need to.
No. I'm saying the 3
together.
stories. The 3 stories.
Oh, if they all just like kind of mush together.
Yeah.
But you can't because you're telling like 2 lives. And they do come together at the end when
they come to. That's the point, and that's the fucking biggest cock tease, was because at the very end they met up in like an airport, but they didn't meet. They weren't around each other. They didn't like say oh hi, and there was no story after that. It was just like oh hey, and they were close to each other, and you're like, I don't give a fuck about these 3 stories. Literally the only story that I care about is A Little Fashion Show. That's like the only one that I kind of care about. The other 2 are complete garbage. I'm so mad.
I'm surprised you have so much emotion about this movie because you fucking picked it and you're like, you're really gonna cry.
Because when I look for romance, I look for good romance, not trash romance, and this was trash romance.
Okay, we can agree this was trash romance and not a good romantic. I mean, it's a. I thought the storyline was good, but it's not romantic.
Yeah, it was just like the last one was just a horrible. It was a fail at romantic bullshit. I couldn't care less. Again, the fashion show was the only one that I was able to kind of like be super engaged in, because it was just kind of like, okay, I can see myself in this situation, blah blah. And then the first one, I just don't care. Like it did make me cry.
The man
it
just
did
eating fucking noodles.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it was. It's just him fucking eating goddamn
I love your noodles.
But like, the only thing that the first thing did was it almost made me cry. It was kind of a tearjerker. And then the next 2, the fashion show was pretty good, and then Shanghai was complete garbage. And that kind of goes into my next question, which is just like, was this a tearjerker for you?
No.
And yeah, it tearjerked me one time, and it wasn't even that much of a tearjerker. It was just, my brain was just like, oh, I'm seeing someone else cry. It's sad. That's what my brain was.
My tears, like, my eyes maybe watered, but then I was like, this is an anime. This isn't fucking real life. Bye.
All right, who was your favorite character?
Oof, that's a hard one, but I'd probably say like the manager, because he, like, remember when like she like fires him, and then he like just straight up like rips her an asshole, and she's like, but you're supposed to like support me, and he's like, do you want the real truth or the fake truth? Get it together, like, do it for you, come on, you know, like pushing her. And probably that was my favorite. And maybe the little like kid that gets stabbed. That was like the most action in the movie that like you saw, was like that kid getting stabbed in his leg.
In the top left, Netflix tries to warn you about things that happen, and it's just like gore. And I was like, oh shit, it's gonna get like crazy.
Wait, that was a thing?
Yeah. And it was like, I'm like, oh shit, things are about to get crazy, and it just didn't. Nope. It was just like, oh, some
like
kid,
crazy, like one random stabbing to the leg that we get no context on.
Yeah.
None. That was the gore.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it was not much of a tearjerker for me either. Who was your favorite character? Oh wait, that's literally what I just said. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. My brain, all right, it's fine. All right, did I already say my favorite? No, I didn't say my favorite character.
No.
I didn't know where we were, dude. Time. My favorite character is it's the fucking main character for the little fashion show. It was Lee or Yi, Lin, probably. Actually, it's either Yi Lin or the
I think
the manager. I think you convinced me with the manager, because I actually really like that part too, where he's like, all right, well, stop being a bitch, like not and just do
stop
shit.
feeling sorry for yourself.
Stop being a little
pick
piece
your feet
of shit.
up.
Yeah, and like, you know, your sister needs a little bit more than just like money. She needs a little bit more. And then at the very end, she was like, I thought I fired you or whatever, and he's like, well, I'm not your manager, but I'm your friend. And I think that was like the very important thing that was happening at the like it wasn't the bridge, but at the harbor, where he was like being very, very stern to her. Like, although he was being very stern, like he's being stern for a reason, and he was being stern because he was being a friend.
Out of love.
Yeah, out of love. Those are the type of friends that I want. I don't want nobody. I don't want yes people. I hate yes people. Mm-hmm. Okay, the 5th, I don't remember. Were there any relatable stories presented? I think we can all agree that was just a little fashion show. I think that's basically what we said.
Yeah.
Okay, overall impressions of the movie. We already I guess I already went to it. I found it extremely boring. What about yours?
I actually kind of digged it. I don't know why. I liked the whole like 3-in-1 because it is a romance movie, so you saw like how they had the different upbringings. I mean, the guy not so much because he just loved fucking noodles, but like definitely like the little fashion show. It's like yes, and then how like they used to be friends and like got separated because he didn't listen to the fucking tape and wanted to be a loser, and like I'm just gonna go balls to the walls and study so we can magically get in, but I'm not gonna tell her, so she's not gonna try it, but I'm gonna try. And like I listened to the tape at an younger man, whatever, you know, like bullshit. And then I mean, it was okay. Would I watch it again? No. Do I want to try those noodles? Yes. Did I immediately pause that movie like right when they just started talking about noodles? And did I look up like on my phone like the name, how to make these noodles?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I did. And they are actually called Shin Cup style noodles. So I might try and make this one day because they looked really bomb. Though, oh my god, do you remember the scene too when he's like eating the noodles with his grandma, and he's like, and just the way like the nice like hard egg is on top, and it adds like a nice like finish to the noodles. I was like, yes, yes, they do. But yeah, overall, would not watch. Honestly, wouldn't recommend to anyone if you like anime, because it was just so fucking low-key boring.
It was
like,
really fucking boring.
It wasn't that good. I would rate it a 1.
Yeah, I think I actually might go that same direction. Let's see. Were there any like good qualities to the movie for me? There wasn't really any good qualities. It was just like a basic story. Yeah, I think I might have to give it a 1 as well.
It was a basic love story.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't even a basic. Yeah, the third one.
It was basic.
Was a basic love story that had like nothing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give them. I'm assuming that they just didn't give them enough time to kind of like
develop it more.
Yeah, develop it more.
Add more.
I just don't think he should have re-met up with her, personally. I think that would have been a lot better. Like, it would have been a bittersweet ending, and the ending probably would have been a lot more impactful on us. But instead, it was just like, oh, he found her, so everything's good, everybody's happy, yay, I guess, right? Or at least another scene of him meeting her, like not just like, oh, everyone just went on with their lives, and then she came back from America, and she was like, yo, I know who you are.
What's up?
Yeah.
It's me.
I feel like he could have done a lot more, especially since, like, I'm pretty sure he finished that school, right? Did he finish school? College?
he finished it. Remember, he got that job as an architect, and then
Yeah,
you see him
I
give
feel
like the boss like the model, and he's like, "What a fucking dumb idea!" But then like he made it his own. He made the hotel.
yeah, I feel like it would have been a lot cooler if like he had gone down to like maybe America or something like that, and like was like,
And then they ran
bruh.
into each other in
Yeah,
America,
yeah,
like in New York
exactly.
City. Oh my,
And
yeah,
like
that would have
maybe
been
he has
nicer.
like the tape, and like he like explains to her that like, yo, I listened to the tape finally, and it's like, oh shit, like,
You're my sunflower.
yeah. That was adorable. The entire tape thing was adorable as shit. I wish they just dealt with
And
it
it was
better.
okay.
It was adorable. Adorable as hell.
I wish they just ended it at the tape.
Yeah,
Honestly.
that should have, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Done. Story's over.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
That would have been more impactful. Or, yeah, they ended at the tape, and then you see him eating a bowl of noodles. He looks up, and she's standing on the far end ordering her noodles, and then he stops and chokes on the noodle. Then he dies.
Yeah. Or, I'm thinking about it. What could have been a really good ending? And I might say that like, so the America thing, or like, or just a better like show, right? Like, it could have been like he was in the back, and she was here, and like she showed up, and like he kind of was like, getting ready or some shit like that. It would have been a lot more surprising to him if he was like not like, if it wasn't just like, oh no, I'm in the front, and she just walks in and he's like, oh, I know who you are, or some shit like that.
Yeah, like he's in the back like typing, and then like she comes up to the front, and then you see a scene of his face just like drop.
Also,
and then
how the fuck does he know what she looks like?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have like fucking okay, it's like what, 2000, so like technology's like not that big. You're right though, like how the fuck does he know?
Yeah.
Like, how would he be like, oh,
it must be
you?
You absolutely
like,
look
how
like...
would you know? You know what too? This movie, have you ever watched You on Netflix?
Have I? I think so. What's it about?
It's with it's about a guy that like every season, I think they only have season 2 out now, but like he's like obsessed with a girl and always refers to the girl as like you. When I saw you, I knew that I wanted you. Like, he's a stalker and obsessed.
Oh, okay.
But
I've
yeah,
never seen that.
that's what like the noodle scene gave me, was like you vibes, which aren't good, like very like stalkery, creepy. And I was like, what is going on in this movie? This is about noodles. Like, I don't know, just like the first noodle scene, that story was just gave me weird You vibes off of Netflix. If you know what I'm talking about, if you watch this movie, like you'll get those vibes too. But it's just like stalkery, like obsessed with something or someone, which obviously he's obsessed with these noodles. So yeah, I kind of liked your ending though. Yeah, it's just, this movie sucked, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, I apologize.
It's okay.
Like, as I was like listening to it, as I was like
so much, remember?
As I was like watching it, I'm just like, why did I choose this?
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more research before I next time.
I mean, hey, this is why we have these fun movie of the week, so like we know what not to watch.
Exactly, yeah. I think that actually kind of like wraps us up. So
I think so too.
What is the next movie?
Okay, so I wanted to pick a documentary style movie. It is apparently nominated for the 2021 Oscars on Netflix. It's called Crip Camp, and it is about a disability revolution in a 2020 American documentary film directed, written, and co-produced by Nicole Newman and James Lebrecht. Barack and Michelle Obama serve as executive producers under their Higher Ground production banner. Oh, didn't know that. So yeah, it's a documentary about...
Wait, you want me to tell what happened?
Crip
Tell me what happened?
which is a A groundbreaking summer camp galvanized a group of teens with disabilities to help build a movement for going a new path toward greater equality.
This looks so fucking boring, but you know what?
Thank you.
Is that why you chose it?
No, I like really love documentaries. Like they're like my jam. Okay, one time it was like a Saturday movie and we have HBO Max and I made my husband watch a documentary about fucking dog groomers that have, and they have like dog groomer competitions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's called Crip Camp, guys. It's a documentary style movie.
One of my favorite documentaries is called Indie Game the Movie. One of my favorites. It's a very fun documentary where you see the kind of the entire creation of a video game. Like you get to follow like 3 different people
Boring
with the
as
creation
fuck.
of the video game, and like you get to see like the beginning where they like you know them just starting the idea, some of them, and then like you get to see crunch time where like they're basically not eating, not sleeping, they're just like trying to code this game, and people are like running some of them offline because they're mad that they didn't make the game fast enough or something like that. It goes through a lot of like different things, and it's really good. I enjoy the movie. I've watched it probably a total of like 7 times in my life.
I'm gonna say this again. That sounds boring as fuck. From what you said after my movie pick.
100% more interesting than Cramp Camp. 100%.
Oh my god, you haven't even fucking watched it.
I just know it. I'm gonna have to get high watching this. 100%.
Can't. I literally can't with you. Okay, well, we'll see in a week how you fucking feel. Light? So with that, what is your topic of the week for our next episode?
So my next topic, let me see. I think I wrote something down that might. So I have a topic that I pre-wrote, but oh yeah, I wanted to. Okay, should we do reading some of my online cringe or or early life? What was our early life like?
Let's do early life.
All right, yeah. So next week's topic is early life. What were we when we were younger? What did we look like? What did we act like? Not what we looked like, but what did we act like? What experiences have we had? All that fun stuff. I think that'd be a nice topic. We could talk a lot about that. I've had a very eventful childhood.
I don't want to say eventful, but a very low-key, middle-class Christian childhood.
My mom was poor AF. We had to deal with it. Yeah, that's the. Oh, Jesus Christ! I hate Netflix. I hate Netflix in that it like tries to preview shit immediately. I really hate that.
Once you click it, and you're like, no, I'm just clicking it.
If you're using the so on the TV, if you hover over it, it will preview.
It plays a trailer.
Yeah, it'll preview the trailer. I hate that. It's just like I don't want to hear anything until I click on a movie that I want to watch and watch it. But in the fucking browser, if you just hover over something, it'll just start previewing, and it's like, bro, fuck off. No one wants to see that.
Let me be.
Yeah, let me be. Leave me alone. All right, that concludes actually this the rest of that, like the ending, right? Do you have anything else?
I don't. Just enjoy Crip Camp. Please don't watch it high. Watch it sober. Maybe. Cause it might be good. Dude, I watched this boring ass movie sober. Like,
but that's your fault.
Boring ass anime.
That's your fault.
You literally told me you're gonna cry so much. I'm like, okay, waiting for the tears.
Did I actually say that you were gonna cry? Because I don't think I said I was.
The tears.
I said.
You did. I swear.
I said okay.
It's an emotional tear.
That could be. I could have said that.
What?
I will grant that I could have said that, but I don't know if I don't know if I did, because I would have said that these types of movies are very like sad, so you might. But I wonder if I did. I will take my lumps if I did say it. But
I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you.
Because it said that it was like Your Name. It was fucking like, oh, these are the same makers of Your Name, and Your Name is so fucking great. And I think Your Name is pretty tear-jerky. Well, obviously they're not. Also, Is that your name? Which one's the one about the deaf chick? I forgot what it is. That one's a sad one. That one's gonna that one makes you cry. But I've already seen it, so I'm probably never gonna add it to the list. A Silent Voice, that's what it is. Very good movie.
Dang.
If you want to actually feel something, there you go. I'm a person with very little emotions, so sometimes I watch sad movies to feel something.
Don't we all?
Yeah. It's just like I haven't had my my dosage of sadness or like gloom yet, so let me go watch a sad movie.
I need to cry for 30 minutes.
Yes, dude, those are great. I wish I could cry more. Like, it sounds bad.
I know. I hate crying.
It's so freeing. Like, it just kind of like moves out a bunch of emotions, just like, yeah, and then afterwards you're just like, that was great. And granted, I only cry with animes nowadays.
Not with this, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not this one. This one was just complete trash. But a good anime, a good sad anime, I can cry on. I've only cried on a handful, but one of them that I ugly cried is called Somali and the Forest Spirit. I ugly cried. That was crazy. It was a fun
Give me
time.
a list of your ugly cry animes, and I'll put them on the Instagram.
Okay.
For anyone else that's an ugly crier.
Oh, that's
or needs a good cry.
Do you need a good cry? Here you go.
Right?
All right, yeah. Just remind me to do that because it's just gonna in my I'll do like 5, 3. I'll do 3, top 3.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining our conversation.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.
And we will see you in the next chat.